Hi there, my name's Andrew Adams and this is another video walkthrough tour. We're on another 43-foot Fairline. So earlier on today we did a Phantom 43 and we're now on a Targa 43. Before I talk about the boat, I just want to say very quickly, our media agency has told us that we are painfully close to 10,000 subscribers. If you like the channel, like video walkthrough tours, like what we get up to, please remember to subscribe to the channel and you will get beamed across this content and notified about it. But back to this boat. This is a 1998 Fairline Targa 43. Now these are great boats. I really like the Targa 43. In terms of the Targa range of this age, you've got the Targa 40 on stern drives, then it moves to the Targa 43 on shafts, and then up to the Targa 47, which is obviously hugely popular again on shaft drives. For me, the Targa 43 is a real sweet spot in that range because you don't have some of the issues that you have associated with stern drives, particularly on older boats. And so it's a very simple mechanical boat, beautiful performance, powered by very well proven TAMD 63Ps. And this boat is presented in really nice condition and will make an excellent boat for its future owner. I'm going to show you the rest of the boat now. Well, if my grasp of the English language is correct, this boat is called Utopia, which means a beautiful place to spend time with your family. Well, that's what I'm taking it to mean anyway. So this is a Targa 43 and it is a really nice boat. As everyone knows, I really like my Fairlines of this age. This is a 1998 boat presented in very nice condition. And the 43 I think is a real sweet spot in the range. I said in the introduction, it's the first boat in the Targa range that has the shafts on it, which means very simple engineering, simple mechanical work. So if we look around the boat, you can see you have a very big, powerful Rockner anchor on the front there. So that's been replaced in recent years. That's a big chunky one on there. And then the rest of the boat's got really nice shine. It's presented very nicely. On the top, you've got space to have sunbathing cushions on the top there as well. Good side deck access. It's not quite as wide as it is on the Phantom range, but that's because it maximises the internal space on board these boats. But the 43 is always quite distinctive in its lines because you've got this large white line that runs all the way around there. So they're very distinctive to look at, but still have a very sporty Fairline Targa feel to them. The covers are presented on good condition. The windows could be replaced on this just to freshen up the boat, but they're totally bone dried throughout the winter. We've come down to this boat a couple of times and it's always dry inside the cockpit space. As we make our way back, you can see the Fairline hull needs a bit of a polish, but the Fairline blue is such a fantastic blue. It's got real deep characteristics. It's got a lot of gel coat on there, so polished back, that will come up like absolutely new. One of the other brilliant things about the Targa 43 is it has the tender garage. Now that can take up to just under a 2.8 metre tender. That can nestle into the back as well. But you still get a good sized bathing platform. So side access to get on these boats is pretty good. You've got an extra side step down here. Now we are in Swanwick Marina. Now Swanwick Marina has pretty high pontoons because it's built for these great big super yachty type things, sort of 80, 90 footers. So the pontoons are very high. So you'll notice I stepped down quite a long way there. But you've got a good easy access step on the side and then access to get in here as well. The covers nice and tight, and in fact I think the rear covers there, the windows might have been done at some point in the recent years. Tender garage is located just inside there, and then you also have a swimming ladder just in there as well, so lift up the hatch and a swimming ladder drops out of there. Inside the cockpit is presented very nicely. It's been upgraded, so it's got Silvertex upholstery, which is in a really nice sort of beige and brown colour, and it looks really great against the white gel. First thing you notice when you come through here, nice wide walkway. It does feel very much like a baby Targa 47, which is probably the most popular Fairline Targa. So it's great to be in this space. You have the large sunpad area at the back here. It's comfortably enough space there for a couple of children to play, 2 or 3 adults to lie out on. And then you've got access at the back here, so you've got access there that goes down into the engine bay, so that gives you a different access to the engines on there. There's teak throughout, and the teak is presented in really nice condition as well. I believe it's original, but it just goes to show how nicely this boat's been presented because the teak really does look like it's incredibly well looked after. The table on this, you've got teak inlaid on the table. The table is folded, so it can either be in a half mode or a full dining mode. And this U-shaped seat, I always like the 43 because this U-shaped seat can fit a lot of people around it, and it just has that real social feel. It's a big boat. I'm standing here and looking there. Nick, you're a long way away over there. So it really does have a real big boat feel. And there's lots of quite cool features as well. So if we lift up inside here, you've got a wine cooler. So the wine cooler is in there, nice and easy access to the cockpit. You've got hot and cold running water in there, and even a bottle of wine. That may or may not be left. So a bottle of wine inside there, and then you've also got your battery isolators located just inside here, and then your switches here for your lights. You've got courtesy lights all around the flooring, and also garage door lifter there as well. That's not the only seating, of course, because you have another little seating area here. Now, the Targa 43 could come in a couple of options. One of the options has got the cockpit grille. So do you know what? I did that the last time I did a walkthrough tour on a Targa 43. I did exactly that same thing. These need to be stuck down better. So apologies for that. So when you take this off, just lift that off there, just like I'm doing here, just demonstrating beautifully, and then lift that up, and you've got here a cockpit grille space. So you can either have the option which has a larger lounger, or what I much prefer is to have a barbecue space. Open up the covers here, let the smoke go out. It's a nice place to be, to barbecue here with your family. And then once you put that there, you just pop that back on there. It's very simple, very easy. You've got a couple of cubby holes in here, so space is here for. He's got some pencils in there, some cloths, etc. So nice places there, and then lots of place for drinks. This boat is a social boat. You can see from the amount of drink inside the cabin there, lots of drink holders, cup holders everywhere. It feels like a boat that you want to take your friends and have a nice time on it. Obviously, boats of this age, quite often you see navigation, which is quite outdated. Not on this boat, it's all been updated. So on here you have a very new Raymarine autopilot head. You've got then a Raymarine head, and also, unusual on a motorboat, but useful for mooring, you also have a windometer as well. So that shows you the direction that the wind's blowing from and how strongly. And of course, you have an axiom plotter. That is a 12-inch. Looks quite large. I think it's a 12. I'm pretty certain it's a 12. So 12-inch axiom plotter. And I quite like that down here you have mechanical dials here which show you the engine hours. So the engine hours have done just under 1,300 hours here. Now we say on average boats should do between 50 and 100 hours a season. This is a 1998 boat, so the hours are actually quite low for its age. The age of the boat means that you've got the mechanical controls, so you've got Morse controls on here, so they click nicely in and out of gear. I always quite like the Morse controls, though the EDC do feel more modern. They're very, very simple to use. They click in and out of gear. You've got no electrical wizardry to go wrong. It's just a simple cable system straight into the TAMD 63Ps. You've got a bow thruster on this. Now that was upgraded in recent years. I think it was 2018. It had a new bow thruster. It was an upgraded, more powerful one that was fitted. So you can see the owners have really put money into the boat. They've done the navigation. It's got a new radar as well. The generator was also replaced, so that's only done 250 hours since it's replaced. So this is a boat that you can see that the owners have really loved it, and as it's needed to have upgrades done, the owner has spent the money and done the upgrades. I always like the 43s, they've got big chunky chair, and it's a suspension chair. So look at that. You're going along in heavy weather, you've got a suspension seat. I believe it's the only Fairline Targa that has a suspension seat. I might be, correct me if I'm wrong, put in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think that's the only one that I'm aware of anyway. So it's really cool. So I'd imagine going through the waves in comfort on this. The dashboard itself has got a carbon fibre wrap, so that's all been wrapped, which again makes it feel more modern. A lot of boats have got the walnut on them, and that walnut is starting to look a little bit tired and a little bit older nowadays, so it does freshen everything up to keep that on there. I think that's pretty much it for the helm position. It's a nice, functional, ergonomic helm position. I mentioned earlier about this big white band that goes around the 43, which makes it very distinctive. That's there. It also makes a good handhold as you're walking around, but all the covers, of course, you can zip panels out as you wish. So quite often people would leave the side panels in, lift the front, or you can just roll the front up so the helm person can see out nice and easily down there as well. I'm going to slip my shoes off and show you what they're like down below. One thing that always strikes me on the 43, they're a long way down. So you have this feeling of spaciousness once you go down, but you've got quite a few steps to go down. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're now down in the bowels of the ship. And it is spacious down here. You have a lot of headroom height down here. If I sit down, you can see that the leather upholstery is presented in very nice condition. There's probably enough room for 6 or 7 people to sit down here. So it is a cosy place to be during the winter. And it really does feel like a slightly scaled down Targa 47. I know that's a simple thing to say because this is the smaller Targa 47, but it's amazing how things are very similar, even down to things like this pod here. So you've got a pod down here, you've got storage on the inside here. Now this owner has put a television on the inside up here, which is great. So it's on a really clever mount. So that TV can actually be pushed up out the way, or it can be swiveled around to give access to people. In the olden days, so when this boat was made, the big box television went inside here. But now you've just got a really good space for additional storage space, because of course the flat screen TVs, they take up a lot less space. Down here you've got the galley area, and the galley area is really good. It sweeps all the way around. You've got this lovely curvy shape to it. Inside here you have a microwave. So your microwave is there, and of course because this boat's got a generator that's been fitted, or it's a new generator in recent years, that will power all the microwave and all of the systems if you're out at sea without being connected to power. And then you've got good storage units throughout, all moulded in underneath the sink, and more storage across everywhere. We're still in winter mode, so you've got a dehumidifier sat on the top here, and you have a gas hob there as well. So the boat does have gas options, so you don't always have to run the generator because you've got gas bottles on board as well. The woodwork in here really is excellent. There's something I look for in older Fairlines. Some of them are looking very tired. They're sun bleached, they're damaged, they've got nicks on all the woods. But what I really look for when I go down on board one of these boats now is what the sort of condition of the wood's like. And the wood down here is excellent. It feels really, really good. Inside here is your day heads. So the day heads is inside there. It doubles up as a wet room. So you pull the shower across and gives you access. You've got an electric toilet system in there. And yeah, totally functional. And it's quite nice just to have that as a day head's easy access for people to get in and out of. In terms of the front cabin is a really good size. So you've got lots of space here at the front, side access to step up. And then the wall linings on this boat, they are all original. They're in pretty good condition, although you may want to replace some of them. But the boat feels actually much, much newer than its age would suggest. And you do have an additional heads just in here. So this is an additional heads, and it's got a full wraparound shower, which is excellent. So it feels much more like at home with the wraparound shower. And a good spacious cabin. And if you look in here, you've got a big wardrobe space there as well, and nicely moulded in fitted drawers. I just love the Fairline touches, like that scallop to give a nice shape there. Many manufacturers wouldn't have bothered doing that. They'd have just made a simple edge, but it's nice to see the quality of the Fairlines coming through on that. All around here on the wall linings, you've got inlaid wood across, but the wall linings are all very, very tight in here and presented very, very well. I'll just come out here again. Into the aft cabin. Now, probably the only difference between the Targa 47 and the 43 for the aft cabin is the 47 has an additional ensuite in here. How much you need an extra ensuite in here is questionable, so it's quite nice to have a bit of extra space. It's good headroom height as you walk in. A lot of these cabins you have to duck down as you come in. Got good headroom height all the way down here, so for getting changed in the morning, it's a nice amount of space. You've even got a little sofa if you need to. Like me, your flexibility is a bit old now, so I have to sit down, put my socks on. You can do that and sit on there. Under here, you've got loads of space, so a nice couple of large single beds in there. I don't believe the owner has one for this, but you could easily get an infill in there as well. So if you wanted your guests to have a double down here, an infill cushion would go down there, and that would turn this into a really good double. Just notice the television, that's not television, that's not TV, that's a fridge. Just note the fridge down here has also been upgraded, so you've got an isotherm upgraded fridge. Again, boats of this age, the fridges quite often the compressors need a little bit of help when they get older. And so having a brand new fridge is great on here. So yeah, nice size cabin, full size wardrobe there, and you've also got a television in here. Now, if people use the boat like I do, go with family holiday, it's quite nice in the evening. Kids can go down there, watch a movie, give a bit of family time. So it's quite nice to see that in there. Little touches, I just knocked it there, but you can see the gripping tape all around means that all the surfaces are presented nicely. They've all been protected, so all the high wear areas, the owners clearly have looked after this and kept it in really nice condition. So let's go upstairs now. I'm going to open up the engine hatch and show you nestling down in the engine bay, the twin TAMD 63Ps, 370 horsepower each, pushes this boat in excess of 30 knots and good performing engines. Nick's laughing at me because I guess I must look very small down here in the engine bay. Back to the point about how deep everything is on the Targa 43. I'm in the engine bay now. Actually, my head's only just above here. The engines really are nestled down here, and they're pretty deep down. So as I mentioned, the TAMD 63Ps, very, very reliable engine blocks. So 370 horsepower each. I had them on my own Phantom 40. Jonathan's got them in his Phantom 42, and they perform very, very well. They're just a good, solid, robust engine. And the performance on this boat will be really, really good with these. So down here, there's plenty of space to get around. I quite like, because of the depth of them, if I just take the camera for a second, you can see because of the depth, you've got easy access all the way around. You've got access to the fuel tanks on the side. To do all your engine checks, you've got a nice amount of space to get around the engines. Another fuel tank on that side. And then all the way to the back, you've got the water filters at the back there as well. So it's a good amount of space in the engine bay. If I come up again, what you'll see is how you get access into there. If I can come up without making a fool of myself. Access into here, you've got the table on the top, you just twist the table around and then just drop that down into there, and just drop that down and then back into cocktail mode. So I really like the easy access to get access to the engines there, and you don't need to remove the table, which is excellent. So I think that's pretty much covered everything. This is a really well-loved, great example of the Targa 43. They're popular boats, these. As I say, it's the first Targa that has the shaft drive, so it's nice and easy from a mechanical point of view. Performance is still great, but you have the peace of mind of just simple shafts rather than stern drives. I think that pretty much covers everything. This boat's afloat in Swanwick Marina, and it's a very nice example. If you're in the market for a circa 43 foot sports cruiser, you need to come and have a look at this. It's a really, really good one. So thanks as always for watching. Remember what I said at the beginning, we're close to 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video very, very soon.